All right. Well, first of all, I just want to welcome everybody for joining us on the webinar today. Just a quick introduction. Myself, I am Michael Wagner. I am the CPTO here at Fishbowl. I'm super excited to be here today to share this with you. Just a little brief history. Fishbowl will be celebrating its 25th anniversary next year. We've been doing inventory and manufacturing systems for our customers for a long time. And about 5 years ago, decided we needed to kind of invest in some modern technologies. About a year and a half ago, we launched our first cloud product, which was branded Fishbowl Drive at the time. We've since renamed that product Fishbowl Inventory, and we continue to grow the feature set in there. And we're super excited to spend the last year and a half investing in AI. And we built an AI foundation that cloud product will now be available in that cloud product, and you'll see the first evidence of that today. We've leveraged it within our AI manufacturing product, which will launch in January. We'll go ahead and continue to build out more AI features within the inventory product in 2026 and continue to leverage that as we go forward. One of the things that we'd ask you to do as part of this webinar is what you'll see is we've got a chat. There's a live chat. So as you go along, feel free to ask questions within the chat. We've got team members here that'll be able to answer those questions for you. And then one of the things I'll start with is we'd like you to think about what is one part of your operation today where you lose the most time or money, and then it's something that consistently slows you down or creates mistakes. As we go through the demo, if you would answer that question within the chat, we'll kind of that'll help us look at those answers and kind of talk about at the end, but also it helps us with understanding what our product, the next things in our product that we need to build out for you. So again, just a reminder, think about that. Anytime through this demo, put that into the chat. If you have questions, put that in the chat, and our team members will actively respond to those. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Kyle Jacobson, who's going to go ahead and walk you through our live demo. And again, I just encourage you as you see things or have questions, throw them in the chat, and we'll get those answered for you. But thank you again for joining. Super excited to show you our AI manufacturing system. And Kyle, I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Michael. Excited to have you all here. So here we have a couple of housekeeping items. So we will be sending out the slides and recording after this to all registrants. We are going to have a little bit of a Q&A afterwards. If we don't get time to answer your question specifically, we'll follow up with the answers after this. And then if you do need closed captioning, the live transcript button in your Zoom control panel will get you there. I'm Kyle Jacobson. I'm a product manager here. I'm overseeing our cloud products, including cloud manufacturing. And then we do have a quick poll. What's your top priority in using AI to improve your operations? So as you can see on your screen there, we have the options. You can go ahead and click one. This will help us understand which direction you're focused on, where you're aiming to get to as we continue to build out our AI products. So I'll give you a quick second to answer that. All right, and then we will jump into the demo here, which is the most exciting part of this. Here is our cloud manufacturing. So our cloud manufacturing, it comes with all of your manufacturing essentials, with your BOMs, being able to create MOs, work orders, production planning. This can come from sales orders, or if you're wanting to replenish your inventory and you manufacture your components. The best part about this is it's built on our agentic AI system. So that means we have a series of agents that are AI powered that can not only do the research for you in your business, see all of your data, analyze it, but also take actionable insights and do some of that work for you. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that means. Now, this is Juno, our forward-facing chatbot that you can talk to with natural language to help you do your job better and be more intelligent about how you're running your business. So here's a prompt that I'm going to start with. what should I build today that will have the biggest impact on my business? We'll start with something simple. You can go as complex as you want. Essentially, anything that you need to know, Juno will go and do the research for you and come back with an answer. So it has access to your inventory levels, your sales orders, what manufacturing orders are already in flight, which work orders are currently in progress, and it will take all of those in as factors when determining what the plan should be. So here's kind of an impact analysis that we've been given. So we have sufficient material to build all 6 bikes in our sales orders right now. You can get suggested actions. These are the most common responses to these results and gives you helpful places to start or what's next. Let's go ahead and create the manufacturing orders. It will pre-populate the prompt. So if I want to go in there and change it, like say I want to add an additional 2 extreme bikes to be able to increase my stock levels for when additional sales orders come in. So let's go ahead and ask Juno to do this for us. And then, so not only will it do the research and give you a plan, it will also proactively warn you of any errors or issues. If we had overdue orders, it would bring those up. If we didn't have enough raw goods to create these manufacturing orders, it would warn us of that. And it could also create the purchase order that we need in order to fulfill those manufacturing orders. And so Juno is your companion. It's your extra employee that's working 24/7 that can do a lot of this work for you. So here, Juno has created these manufacturing orders for us off out of the gate. It's created the MOs and the work orders. So we can go ahead and start building. We have our different dashboards here. We have our bills of material where you can add bills, you can add estimated time, some instructions here that'll show up on the work order, adding finished goods, raw goods. This is all the manual flow. If you wanted to do that versus using Juno, Juno has access to all of this as well. It can create bombs. So if you have uh, a list of your bombs that you want to create or new designs, new bombs, you can throw it into Juno. Juno can do a bunch of that brute work for you. So here in manufacturing orders, we now see that the MO has been issued. We see our various work orders based off of the 2 bills of material. From here, we can go ahead and start the work order. This will capture the time in which it was started so that you can do some limited time tracking in this first version. This is our light manufacturing product that we're releasing in January. And as we release, we're going to be adding more and more features as we go along. Once it's been started, we can come in here, and once we've built the bike, we can backflush the actual quantity. So if we spent 7 hours building it, we can factor that into the cost of the actual product. What we put here will then utilize whatever costing method you have. So if you're using actual, average, FIFO, LIFO, it will receive the finished good with the cost that's built out in here. So any overhead that you have in there, any packaging requirements, you can add these as items, and then you can come in here and overwrite the quantity that you actually use. So if you broke some handlebars and you want to include that in the cost of building these products, that can now be reflected in your cost. And then we do integrate with QuickBooks or Xero, and these values, the raw good expenses and the finished good assets, are then added to your QuickBooks account. So here we've gone ahead and completed that. So now the finished good has been put into our inventory, the raw goods have been consumed, and we can see our various work order has been completed, and we have one in an entered status that we can get working on right away. We also have the production planning view, which will show you when your sales orders are due. You can move around the different MOs that you have for some basic production scheduling. It shows you the estimated time to build. In future states, we'll be able to have set workday hours that can then break up those work orders into separate scopes of work. But for now, you can see it here. You can schedule it. You can add tags to these various MOs and work orders as well. So these are a couple of the things that cloud manufacturing can do actively. When we launch, we'll still be building out features until January. And one thing that we're looking for are pilot tester companies. So if this is interesting to you and you think that this could be a good resource for you and you want to help us build it and help us shape the way this product is created, we'll have a poll right after this demo to where you can acknowledge your interest in it. One other thing that I want to point out here in the production planning view, you'll have this auto MO. This is essentially what Juno can do in doing its research. It will also have a visual prompt. So if you are in here doing your working, this will light up so you know that you have sales orders that need some MOs created for them. These are unattached MOs to sales orders. You can go ahead and select all of these. You can change the build count that you want. You can change the scheduled date and generate the MO. And we have the same for purchase orders as well. So if we don't have enough raw materials in order to build some of our MOs or some of our sales orders that we need to fulfill, this will also have the same effect where it will prompt us that we have things that we need to take care of in order to keep our business moving. Some other examples of what you can use Juno for, you can ask about vendors, you can ask about margins, you can ask about any of the essentially anything that is part of your business, Juno has access to. It can do a lot of complex reporting in that and really help you move from stage to stage in your organization. Would love in the chat too to get some thoughts, some opinions around this. This is obviously built on our Fishbowl inventory product, which has items, robust inventory, job costing. We have sales orders, picking, shipping. For our launch product, it's more of a backflush workflow. So we will be incorporating in the picking workflow after we launch in January. So that is a fast follower to what we're launching, but that will eventually integrate with our full picking flow. We have purchase orders, obviously receiving all of those great inventory requirements that's all fueled by this agentic AI system. So it can create items for you, create bombs, it can create manufacturing orders, work orders, give you business insights, etc. That is our demo for the product that we are building right now that's set to come out in January. And we would love to, let me jump over to the poll. I would love to get some pilot testers out there, companies that are interested in this. So if you are interested in being a pilot tester, we'll follow up with you after, and then we can ask more about your business needs, and what you would want out of an AI first product. So go ahead and fill that out, and we'll follow up with you.
Excellent. Kyle, great job. Should we get into Q&A? There's quite a few questions coming through. Just everyone's aware, looks like the chat is not working, the response chat. So if you have any questions, please throw them in Q&A, and we will do our best to answer all these questions for you right now. So gonna jump in. From Katie, can I group these or see them by location group?
For now, no, we are launching that. It'll probably be February-ish when we get the location breakdowns. That's a great call out, and it's something that we definitely want to add into the product.
Awesome. Will Juno/chatbot be able to generate and assist with pick orders?
With picking, so that will come in a V1. So we're launching with our base product in January, bringing in the full picking flow and creating those pick orders and using the pick order. I guess if you're doing FIFO or LIFO, whichever there, it will include that. And so another thing too is with you joining this webinar, all of these releases of these features, if you show interest in a specific feature, let us know, because then we can send out communication on exactly when we have that in the product and when it's a good time for you to switch over.
Yeah, maybe Kyle, just a little more clarification on some things with Juno. So Juno, our agent, has been built specifically for manufacturing first. We will come back and make Juno available in a lot of the inventory features, because I was seeing questions about Juno and inventory features if you're not using manufacturing. Juno will be available for the inventory type features sometime in Q2. So what we wanted to do was our manufacturing product was built native on top of the AI agent. We're going to go back and retro all of our inventory products to also be native AI as well. That you'll see launch sometime in Q2. So we're excited about that as well. And then one of the things we didn't cover in the demo that I think, a lot of you may have questions about, Juno also does have guardrails. We didn't show it, but for example, if you ask Juno to approve and issue a PO, it will not do it because it requires some level of human authorization for those funds to be approved. So there are things within Juno that we've purposely built guardrails to make it the human make those decisions versus Juno. So as you start using the product, we also would appreciate any feedback on things where you think there may be additional guardrails that your organization might need, or where we might have been too restrictive on guardrails as well. So I just want to, with any agent, I just want to be clear there are guardrails built into the agent that prevent things from happening.
That's a great call out, Michael. And on top of that, if Juno isn't 100% confident in what you're asking, it will ask follow-up questions. So if you don't specify, or if it's confused on which location you want this built out of, or you want assigned to the manufacturing order, it will ask for those clarifying questions. So in most cases, it can give a valid assessment of what your workflow looks like, and it can give those recommendations. But as Michael said, you still have to tell it to execute those functions. So it won't be doing a bunch of ordering on your behalf without you knowing.
Awesome. Okay, we got quite a few questions, so I'm going to try to run through them. For auto POs, can Juno/chatbot also factor in vendor blackout dates, like the Chinese New Year, for example?
So vendor blackout dates is something on our list. It won't be at launch.
Gotcha. Okay. Can Juno tell us which, if any, POs are late from vendors?
Yep. So it can tell you exactly which ones are late. It can even give you suggestions of which vendors to use. If you have multiple vendors that provide the same raw materials, it is smart enough to know what the lead times are, what the minimum order quantities are. So it takes all of that into account when it's giving you suggestions on what you should order and when.
Great. From Anastasia, can develop its own reports or use current reports?
Yeah, so with V0, we're going to have a CSV export with all of the data in there. And so you can pull it into Excel. You can do any of that robust analysis on any of that data that's produced through our manufacturing modules. We will be rolling that into having more customized reports, and various things like that. But for now, we are providing you with all of that data so that you can at least get it, analyze it, and see all of the audit trails and data.
Okay. Question for Michael and Kyle. This is a lot of questions on this one. Will this be additional costs or will this be included in existing packages?
It will be an additional cost. So we are working on pricing right now. It's going to be somewhere around the 150 per month range on top of your inventory package. Again, we're still finalizing the price. And then it will come with a set of tokens or requests that you can use in Juno per month. And then and it'll be a good amount to where it should handle 90% of usage. And then if you do have extra need, you can bump up that request package or add a la carte request usage.
Awesome. And we'll be having a second webinar in December, everyone. So hopefully we'll be a little more clear on the pricing and how it all works there. So please attend that webinar as well.
Yeah, just to clarifying point on cost, right? So I just want to make sure everybody understood what Kyle said. The manufacturing will be released as a module within our inventory cloud product. So you can purchase the module. It does come with some usage of Juno or usage of the AI agent as part of the base package, and then you'll be able to buy up or buy additional usage if you're a heavy user of the AI and you find within the period of time that, hey, my users are really using the AI and the base package doesn't, there'll be levels that we can buy up. That hasn't actually been defined yet. We're working on the final pricing for launch. So as Devin said, that as we get to December, we should have better clarity on that and be able to share that with you.
Yep, great call out.
Awesome. Would Juno work with the same for sales orders and order flow processes? This person they really don't utilize the manufacturing
OpenAI coming for cloud. I'd love to know a little bit more about what you mean there.
I'm sorry,
For
open the API for cloud. I
Oh,
apologize.
open the API. Okay, that's yeah. All right, that makes sense. So I'll answer the first question first, which is what Michael talked to, where Q2 is where we're aiming to bring in full functionality of Juno into the rest of our process. So right now it can do item creation and things that are required for manufacturing. We are going to be branching that out into sales orders, the picking flow, the receiving flow, those types of things as well, including bringing some of this functionality and mobile functionality or manufacturing functionality into mobile as well next year. So a lot of great things coming, but for that specific use case, aim for Q2 of next year.
Great. Will Juno be able to suggest a substitute part in a BOM that we have in inventory?
Yes. So right now it does suggest substitute parts based on what, if you have multiple vendors using the same part, or if you have different, right now you would have to create two different bombs, but then it could tell you which bomb to use in that MO. There is some optionality that we want to build in after launch, which is, being able to have that variable part to where we can use part A or we could use part B for this product, and then Juno could do the analysis on which one to use in which use case.
Yeah, just a little clarification maybe, Carl. So for example, if you have a bomb with a part on it that you want to substitute, I think what Kyle's saying is you could ask, are there substitute parts for this part? It will tell you what that part is, and then you can tell Juno to build bomb 1, 2, 3, but replace part A, B, C with part D, E, F. It would actually go build that bomb for you with the substitute part on it, and then you could use that bomb to build with the substitute part. So
Yep.
I just wanted to put some real clarification there, Kyle, on how that would
Great.
work today.
Thank you, Michael.
Another question's been asked a lot. Any plans to add AI to the desktop version of Fishbowl?
Not at this time. It's
Um,
just, and again, just to be real clear of why the architecture that we built the Fishbowl advanced product on doesn't allow us to easily implement that. So we've been focusing on getting the AI built within all the cloud products. We'll start with the manufacturing, we'll launch in the inventory, and then we'll probably add it to some of our e-commerce features come later in the year as well. But it would all be cloud-based.
Mhm.
Can Juno work with multiple location groups across locations or location groups?
Yeah, so it can pull from any location group. Where we're going to be adding more functionality is being able to limit users on which locations they see and really filtering out by which, if you just want to focus on one manufacturing location, being able to filter out everything else, but it can work across any number of location groups. Yeah.
Okay. Will Juno have the ability to do production scheduling and will it give us lead time for parts?
Yep. So we have lead times built in. That's on a per vendor per part basis. So it can take into account lead times. And then we also do have our production scheduling submodule in there. In fact, let me.
Yeah, we didn't show that, but there is a small production scheduling calendar out there where between Juno and the UI, you can actually rearrange things on that production schedule. And Juno does try to fit it in within the production schedule based on dates. So for example, if it's expecting inventory to arrive, a sales order to be processed by a certain date, it tries to schedule it within that sales order time frame so that you can meet the needs of the sales order.
Yep. And obviously you can drag it around. You can do some
Yep.
basic scheduling. It shows you the estimated amount of time, like we talked about a little bit. Yep.
And it is color coded. So if for example, let's say I'm waiting on a part to come in and I know my sales order is going to be delayed and therefore it will show in red. So you can see those things, for example, that are critical.
Yep.
Great. Will Juno be able to modify descriptions on parts?
Yes, it will. It can.
Yeah, and just beyond that, you can build bombs with Juno. You can create parts with Juno. So with natural language, you can tell it to go create a part. And if it's a like another part, it'll pull some of those fields off of the other part without you even giving it all of the details of what's needed for the new part.
Mhm.
Great. A lot of questions on what is the difference between this and the existing AI plugin.
Yeah, so the existing AI plugin, this is a question about our advanced product. So in advanced and within Fishbowl inventory, we have a product called AI Insights. So AI Insights is our AI-driven BI reporting tool. So that takes all of your data, it lets you do complex pivot tables, it lets you do some AI forecasting and demand planning with a much deeper understanding of those. So think of it as this is your employee that you can use to do basic research, build plans, create things, and do your operational day-to-day tasks. And then AI Insights is more of your overview, your business analysis, really figuring out over the next 6 months, where do I need to be? What do I need to order from vendors with long lead times? So it's just that next level of AI reporting depth.
Great. Another good question. Can you limit what Juno has access to based on the user?
So for initial launch, you're going to be able to say which users do and do not have access to Juno is our primary permissions base at that level. A very fast follower to initial launch is going to be user-based permissions.
Yeah, and think of it this way, Juno is an employee, and initially what we've given Juno the ability to do out of the box is everything within manufacturing on the release one. What we'll end up doing is you'll have multiple personas of Juno, right? So you'll have an employee that might be able to work on sales order, but not work orders. Those features as we build different personas within Juno will come later in the year. So we'll be rolling those out probably as part of the Q2 rollout that we talked about with inventory. It'll have different personas. But today, Juno will launch as a persona that basically is your manufacturing expert and can help you do anything within manufacturing.
Great. We have a ton of questions, everybody. So we will, if we can't get to your question today, we will send an email response to each of you. Another question is there a way to forecast our MOs based on our reorder points driven off of finished goods?
Yep. So with reorder points, we are adding that into Juno. That's part of what we're working on for the next month and a half is being able to read those values and create MOs based off of reorder points. Right now, Juno can read your minimums and it can read what your current stock is. And so as we work with these pilot testers, we'll be building in these types of functionality, including having access to your reorder points and being able to leverage that to create the MO plan. Right now, it bases it off of sales orders and also inventory levels.
Great. From Dylan, can you use Juno to allocate inventory to orders?
That is not a feature in Juno yet. That's one that's on the roadmap, though. It won't be for launch, but it will come as a follower to that. So one of those things
Gotcha.
where showing interest, we'll make sure to reach out to you when these new features hit and when it's a good time for you to jump on.
Okay. From Julie, can Juno run and deliver reports in AI Insights?
Not yet, but it is something that we're working towards having Juno talk to Athena, who is the chat interface with AI Insights, to be able to connect those two dots, but not for launch. But you could take Juno's results, or sorry, AI Insights results, and then plug them into Juno and have it build you a plan off of that.
Yeah, and just a couple other comments, Juno. Juno will do some simple reporting for you right within the chat window. So if you ask it to go out and for example, tell me, my highest priority orders, it will bring back a list of those in kind of a small report table format within Juno. So there are certain things you can ask it and get quick results or quick reporting back within table form within Juno.
For sure.
Okay, we have time for maybe one more question, and we will follow up with everybody else's questions. This one is what AI services Juno built upon is a ChatGPT?
Yep, right now we are utilizing Anthropic, so the Claude models, but that is something that as we build out more and more agentic features, we may end up using a combination of the two based on which one is best at which task. Right now, Claude is working fantastically for us, and as we work with the pilot testers, you'll be able to see and work with it to feel that out. Another quick note that I want to say, we don't use any of this data to train the LLM models. It's all on our private servers. None of this data is shared across organizations. It's locked down where we just pull in the models, basically a copy of the model. So if you have concerns about that, that's our approach there.
Yeah, and then maybe
Great.
just one other clarifications. While you are in Juno, it does have a memory. So as you ask things within Juno, for example, if I ask it to tell me my critical sales orders and it brings up 3 orders that it thinks are critical, from that point forward, I can refer to critical sales orders and it will always apply to those 3 sales orders. If you want to start a new memory with Juno, you can open a new window within Juno and then it starts over and it can create the memory from that point forward. So just those things, if you haven't used an AI agent, be aware of those things are inherent to AI agents, and it's a benefit because as long as you stay in that thread, it knows all the context from that thread.
Yep.
Okay. Looks like we are at time. Kyle, if you want to jump to the last slide so people can get information on the next webinar, and then we will follow up with anybody in the Q&As, but I'll let you guys kind of close it out.
Great. Just want to say thank you so much for jumping into this. We look forward to finding which of you want to be pilot testers and help us bring this to market in a way that works for your business. So please feel free to reach out. We'll reach out to you. And then if you do want to register for our next webinar, which is our part 2, where we're going to go even more in depth in what the actual launch looks like, what the packaging looks like, what the costs look like, and really get us ready for launching this in January.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.